A sprawling city hiding under the streets of Seattle? Is there a secret underground world in Los Angeles? And what's going on at Disney World? These are hidden underground cities in America. There's a whole abandoned underground city beneath Seattle. And no, I'm not just talking about a system of tunnels. This is an actual city that people used to live and work in. Back in 1889, the Great Seattle Fire tore through downtown, leveling almost everything in its path. The city decided to rebuild, but instead of just throwing up new buildings, they did something kind of different. They raised the entire street level. They dumped soil and debris between buildings, creating this elevated ground floor. The problem was that some business owners had already started rebuilding before the city's plans were finalized, so their brand new ground floors ended up underground. So instead of tearing them down, the old sidewalks and storefronts got sealed off, leaving behind this maze of hidden streets and alleyways beneath Pioneer Square. By 1907, city officials condemned the underground, worried it was turning into this breeding ground for crime and disease, because yes, people still went down there. For years, it sat abandoned and forgotten, until the 60s, when a historian named Bill Speitel turned it into a tourist attraction. Today, you can actually take a guided tour through these eerie, half-lit tunnels and see the old storefronts still standing there frozen in time. And of course, because it's a creepy underground city, there are plenty of ghost stories as well. Los Angeles might be famous for its glitzy Hollywood lights, but beneath the surface, some believe there's something far older and stranger hiding in the dark. In the 1930s, mining engineer George Warren Shufeldt became obsessed with a legend passed down by the Hopi natives, which spoke of this ancient civilization of lizard people. Not the type of reptilian shapeshifters we think of today with conspiratorial stuff. This was a race that were said to have revered the lizard, and these people supposedly built this massive underground city under what is now LA 5,000 years ago. This subterranean city, allegedly designed in the shape of a giant lizard, supposedly stretched from the northeast LA all the way to the Central Library downtown, with secret passageways leading to the ocean, allowing seawater to push fresh air into the chambers. And Shufeldt claimed to have developed a device that he called a radio X-ray, which he used to detect underground tunnels, and maybe even more exciting, if you're a greedy little troll like me, a treasure room beneath Fort Moore Hill. I just hear the word gold and gold. Anyway, he convinced the city to let him drill a 350-foot shaft in 1934, promising that gold artifacts would be found. But before he could reach anything, the dig was abandoned because of cave-in concerns and funding issues. After that, Shufeldt disappeared from the public eye, dying in 1957 without ever proving his claims. But winding things back a little, right before Shufeldt was about to start the dig, a local psychic named Edith Eldon Robinson claimed to have had a vision of, quote, a vast city in mammoth tunnels extending to the seashore. Just a coincidence, or was something really buried beneath Los Angeles, something we were never meant to find? Disney World. Don't it just make you want to smile? It's the most magical place on earth, they say, but what a lot of people don't know is that there's a whole hidden world under the park. Down below, there's this massive network of tunnels called utilidors, and these underground passages let cast members, move around the park without being seen by guests. And think about it, have you ever seen someone dressed as Mickey Mouse casually walking through Tomorrowland on a smoke break? I haven't, because I've never been to Disney World or land or whatever, but for those of you who have you ever seen that? Probably not, because Disney is all about maintaining the illusion, and these tunnels make sure of that. They also house a bunch of behind-the-scenes operations, from trash collection, costume changes. The tunnels are so big that they're actually considered the first floor of the park, with what we see at ground level actually being the second floor. But is that all there is to it? Of course not. That's not what we do in this channel. We always take things a step further, and with a secret underground system this big, there are always urban legends and rumors. Some say there are hidden rooms used for secretive Disney business, that late at night in those dark tunnels beneath the park, things get a little less family friendly. Buried deep within Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado is one of the most secure underground facilities in the world. Built during the Cold War, this bunker was designed to survive a nuclear attack and keep the US government running. The facility is buried under 2,000 feet of granite, protected by blast doors that weigh 25 tons each. Inside there are multiple buildings sitting on giant springs designed to absorb shock from explosions. But this place isn't just a bunker, it's an entire underground city. It has its own power plant, water reservoirs, and even a subway system for moving people around. Officially, it was the headquarters of NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, but over the years, rumors started spreading about what else might be going on down there, and some believe it's still in use as a top secret command center. Others say it's connected to an even deeper underground network that stretches across the country. Whatever the case, if you're looking for a place to ride out the apocalypse, this would be a solid choice. If the government ever had to disappear overnight, they'd probably head straight to Mount Weather. This underground city, found in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains, is one of the most classified government facilities in America, originally built during the Cold War as a nuclear bunker. It's meant to house top government officials in case of an emergency, and again, this place is a full-on underground metropolis. It has office buildings, a hospital, a fire department, even its own zip code. So if you're not in the government's VIP list though, then you suck, and you'll probably never see it in person. The entire site is heavily guarded too, and whatever happens inside is classified. The conspiracy crowd, of course, has some wild theories about Mount Weather. Could it be where the government keeps files on every American citizen? Is it possible it's connected to a larger network of underground bases, including Area 51? Is this place really just for government officials, or are there secret tunnels leading to underground bunkers for the ultra-rich? I think that's probably the case, especially based on what's going on lately. Whatever the case though, if the world ever goes south, don't expect an invite to this place. Washington, D.C. has no shortage of secrets, but one of the strangest involves an abandoned tunnel system hidden beneath L'Enfant Plaza. Originally part of an old underground trolley system, these tunnels were built in the 1940s, but later abandoned when the city moved to a more modern subway system. Unlike other abandoned tunnels though, these ones are sealed off so tightly that even urban explorers struggle to get in. So what's in there? Well, some think not much, that it's just another forgotten piece of infrastructure, but others think the tunnels may still be operating. Given DC's history of secret bunkers and underground facilities, it wouldn't be too surprising if there's more going on under the surface than we're being told. After all, if you were going to hide something important, wouldn't an old, sealed-off tunnel system be the perfect place? Back in 1909, the Arizona Gazette published a story about an alleged discovery deep within the Grand Canyon. It was an underground city that looked like something straight out of ancient Mesoamerica. According to the article, explorers found this series of tunnels that were filled with all these mysterious artifacts. There were giant statues and what looked like Egyptian-style hieroglyphics on the walls. The Smithsonian was supposedly involved, but here's where things get a little sketchy. If you ask them today, they'll tell you that they have no record of this ever happening. And while it's easy to chalk this story up as a hoax for that very reason, some people still wonder if the government covered it up, either to protect an important historical find or to hide something even bigger. There are even theories that the Grand Canyon itself may have once been home to an ancient advanced civilization on a bigger scale. You probably don't think of warehouses and data centers as something secretive, but Missouri is home to some of the biggest underground storage facilities in the world. Carved into old limestone mines, these massive underground spaces stretch for miles and are used from everything from cold storage to government records. Places like Subtropolis, yes, that is its actual name, are so large that they have their own roads and even postal addresses. Some of these underground facilities are open for business, but others are more mysterious. Who really knows what's hidden in the deepest sections? One theory is that these underground spaces are connected to secret government bunkers. Sitting beneath the luxurious Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia is one of America's best-kept Cold War secrets. Built in the 1950s, this underground bunker was designed to house Congress in case of nuclear war. It had dormitories, a cafeteria, a medical clinic, and even a TV studio to broadcast emergency messages. For decades, it stayed hidden in plain sight, disguised as part of the resort's conference center, until a journalist exposed it in 1992. And after that, the government decommissioned it, but the bunker is still there. You can even take a tour of it today. And based on some of the images I've looked at, it looks like kind of like the back rooms. But of course, with one Cold War bunker revealed, the question is, where did they move Congress's new emergency hideout? If you've ever been to the Denver International Airport, you know it's got some seriously weird vibes to it. From the creepy murals to the giant demonic horse statue outside, the place feels like it was designed by a secret society, and some say that it was. The strangest theory about the DIA is that there's this massive underground bunker system hidden beneath it. Officially, the airport does have underground tunnels, but some people believe that they're part of a much larger, top secret complex designed to house government officials and elites in the event of a catastrophe. And some say there's alien stuff going on down there too. Some even claim the bunkers connect to other underground facilities across the country. There's no hard proof, obviously, but when you consider how weirdly over budget the airport was, billions of dollars mysteriously vanished during its construction, it definitely makes you wonder if something's being hidden down there. With all that said though, I've been your host James, and I'm gonna catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.